Hi, it's Sandy. I just wanted to touch base with you during this time that we're all quarantined and hope you are all well, and we're going to be seeing you really soon. Meantime, I like to share with you some of my things that I do that I'm keeping myself occupied and interested in, things that bring joy to my day actually. And it's watching the birds. Right now it's time to get those hummingbird feeders out, and I do get a lot of questions this time of year from people about what to do, how to make the mixture. So I thought I'd share some with you. And I just think it's focusing on the changing seasons and the things that are there that happen every year, the things that are definite. Bring you some sort of perspective on this, and this too will pass. So do some things that bring you joy to get you through it. I've been watching the hummingbirds for many years. I actually started documenting it in 2002, and I've had sightings anywhere from April 22nd up until May 12th. Usually by May 12th, I've spotted a few, usually earlier in the morning or in the evening until July. And then in July, you'll start seeing a lot more, and then you'll see a lot until they start dwindling when they're migrating back, sort of the end of August, September. I leave my hummingbird feeders up until October because there could be strays going by. One thing I had actually started trying to attract hummingbirds even before 2002, but I had no luck. I think some of the things I were doing wrong was I was using the red nectar, which they really don't need. So I started making my own sugar water, which I had, you boil 4 cups of water and you add 1 cup of sugar. You dissolve it in there, and then I put it in a jug and keep it in the refrigerator and keep the feeders fresh. It's important to keep the feeders fresh because they're coming back. When this time of year, I'll feed, I'll change the feeders probably twice a week. When it's warm, sometimes I'll change them daily. Sometimes I'll change them, depending on how hot it is and what it looks like. I just put a little nectar in. This way you don't waste it because they usually don't finish it, and you can keep it fresher that way. A clean feeder is really the most important thing. When you pick a feeder, you might like to, they're very pretty decorative ones, but you don't need them. Just get one that's easy to open and clean, where you can clean all the ports, clean the insides really well. There are some brushes you can get and that help to get into the little holes. Just don't let any black mold, form on there. That's very, very dangerous for them. So the year I started actually seeing a hummingbird, I had decided to make my own sugar water nectar. So I put that out. And I had read if you put a red ribbon around it, it would attract them. So I put a big red ribbon on my feeder. I planted some bee balm underneath it, some red bee balm. And that's the year I started seeing them. And ever since, I get them faithfully every year. I swear some of them are the same ones, because if the feeder isn't up, they will actually come and buzz me and let me know that they have arrived. So it's really something very easy and very enjoyable. It's a good family activity. You can, take, who's going to get to see the first hummingbird? They sort of flit down out of nowhere. So it's really always a really surprise when you do see your first hummingbird. Don't be surprised if you get some mysterious critters visiting your feeders. I have had over the years some really strange things happening. I had a woodpecker that came regularly. The squirrels dump it out all the time on me. And I also had, sometimes they say bats will actually visit the feeders, and I've had butterflies on my feeders. I also had one year when we had the bears in the area. They were actually drinking it out of the feeder. So I had to take them down for a while because it's not good to have the bears hanging around. It's not good for them or, for anybody else, though they are awfully cute. The species of hummingbird that you'll see here in New York is the ruby-throat hummingbird. You can identify the male by his red under his chin, under his beak. It's lovely when the sun hits it, and he flashes it when he's being aggressive or he's defending his territory or showing off. And that's a lot. He does a lot. He shows off a lot. And the female, you can see her feathers are iridescent green, and they're lovely when the sun hits them. Also, so she's really, they're both really really beautiful little birds. They kind of flit down out of nowhere. They're almost magical when you see them. Some flowers that will attract them are a bee balm, which they was the first thing that I saw a hummingbird on, and kind of the first year I started attracting them. And they also like this wild fuchsia that I have, which is a tubular flower. They like tubular flowers. It must be, easy for them with the nectar. But there are a lot of flowers which you can see in your nursery. A lot of times they will actually label them as hummingbird attracting flowers. And what's the nice part about that, it also attracts butterflies. So, if you pick those flowers for your gardens, and usually the natural flowers are better, that are from this area, are better if you can possibly get them. A site that I go to for information on the hummingbirds and to post my sightings on is called journeynorth.org. It's a very good site for information and for actually tracking when the hummingbirds will be coming, when they're leaving. It also has a lot of other spring and fall migration, a lot of nature stuff on it that's really informative and very interesting. You might want to do that as a family activity and see what signs of spring you can spot besides the hummingbirds. I hope you do get them. I think if you put your feeders up and you're watching, I think you will see them. It might take some patience, but you will see them. Meantime, be well, be safe, and do something every day that brings you joy. Till we meet again. Bye-bye. So I took this off my refrigerator this morning because I wasn't sure I could do this. It's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that says, "You must do the thing you think you cannot do." Well, thanks to Lisa Gomez, who is a librarian who has just joined our team. For her help, her consideration, her patience, and just encouragement to get it done, it's done. So hopefully you can enjoy it. Lisa's looking forward to meeting all of you in the near future, as we are all looking forward to being back in the library to serve you again.